The human heart is a fascinating organ. It's one of the most complex organs in our body, and it does so much work for us, from pumping blood to sending messages to our brain. The heart is truly keeping us alive. But how do we understand what our own hearts are up to? How fast can it go? And more importantly, how fast should it go? In this video, we will discuss the most important questions all around the human heart. The heart is the center of the circulatory system, or motor if you will, and it pumps blood through our bodies. It beats around 70 times per minute, making it over 100,000 beats a day. Throughout our lives, our hearts beat around 3 to 4 billion times at very different paces, continuously, whether we sleep or are running a marathon. Our heart muscle cells are triggered by nervous cells called the sinus atrial node, the natural pacemaker of the heart. Those cells fire electric signals based on alterations of electrolytes in and around those cells, fully automatically, which is why we do not have to remember to let our heart beat. That's quite awesome, isn't it? Despite this fully automated mechanism, there are various substances in our body that can make the heart beat faster. Those substances are released when we exercise, we fear something, we are angry, excited, or upset. Those substances are hormones named dopamine or catecholamines, like adrenaline, for example. But what is a normal heart rate? A normal heart rate is considered a heart beating 60 to 70 times per minute for an average individual. People who are very sportive often present heart rates below that, sometimes even as low as 45 to 50 beats per minute. This is because their heart is so strong that it needs to work less to provide enough oxygen for all the cells of the body when resting. Heart rates below that number are called bradycardia, whereas heart rates of over 100 beats per minute are called tachycardia. In this video, we want to look closer into the self-induced tachycardia, for example when doing sports. In general, since one can compare our hearts to engines of a car, it is important to mention that if your heart beats too fast over a too long period, it gets damaged, just like your car engine. But just like your car engine, it is good and healthy to stress out the heart from time to time, but always just within certain limits. What the rotation per minute limit is for your engine is the maximal heart rate for your heart and should not be exceeded, since dangerous complications like cardiac arrhythmia, heart attack, internal bleedings, or even cardiac arrest could occur. But what is the maximum heart rate and how should you know it? The maximum heart rate depends on your age and can be calculated using the following very simple formula. Take 220 and subtract your current age. For example, the maximum heart rate for a 40-year-old person would be 220 minus 40, which would be 180. So, 180 would be the maximum heart rate for a 40-year-old person. The maximum heart rate gains more importance as we get older. Older hearts are not as resistant as younger ones and thus should be protected. So, if you have parents or grandparents eagerly doing sports and pushing themselves to the limit, try to sensitize them for their maximum heart rate and how important it is to not overpace our hearts. But what heart rate should you aim for when doing sports? It is scientifically proven that your body and heart exercise best at your target heart rate. Do you remember the target heart rate from the last video? If not, please consider checking it out. Precisely, your target heart rate is between 64% and 76% of your maximum heart rate. So, in our example of the 40-year-old person, the target heart rate would be between 115 and 137 beats per minute. For really vigorous activities, aim at 77% to 93% of your maximum heart rate. To check your heart rate, simply take a short break. Find the arteria radialis on your wrist as indicated on the picture and count the pulse for 1 minute. If you do not want to count for 1 minute, just count 15 seconds and multiply the number with 4, or just use one of those modern devices collecting your health data. Congratulations, you now have enough knowledge to protect your heart and the hearts of others from overpacing. If you are interested in more videos about healthcare, understanding the human body in general, or health education, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care and be kind to one another.